It's going to start to get faster.
Exactly. Jordan, again, I'm so mesmerized by the heated streets like that. It says on the street, but is it on the sidewalk as well? Because the sidewalks don't have any snow either. So it's the sidewalks too.
Correct. Yeah, it's this main stretch, which is kind of nice.
It is nice. Yeah. If I lived in Michigan, I would go right there. I'd be like, I'm moving to New Haven. That's where I'm going. All right. Thank you for that. We'll get back to you. All right. Let's talk a little bit more because we've been pretty busy for today in terms of all the blues that we're seeing.
Yeah, we've got the winter weather alerts up, winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories. The winter storm warnings, of course, the higher level of that warning. And you can see some cities included in that. And we're seeing the travel implications of that for sure.
Yeah, we are. And so that snow is going to continue to pile up. We're seeing that maybe upwards of a foot in some spots where you're seeing the purple coloring. If you're a snow lover, you're loving it.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not traveling today, let's say if you were at your home for Thanksgiving and you're not traveling across this region, you probably are loving this early season snowfall. However, if you are traveling today, you can see it right there on the list. Dangerous travel, and we've seen that.
It is just a headache out there. It's just dangerous as we do have the snow, but we're also going to be dealing with the wind as well. So we have that blowing snow coming in. Temperatures are in the 20s.
Molly mentioned when we were talking to her earlier that the heavy snow had not yet begun in Chicago, and it is here now. That's why you see those big flakes flying in the icon, because heavy snow now coming down in Chicago, and some areas are picking up snowfall at an inch an hour rate.
Yeah, we sure are. Because of that, look at this. So we can see our legend here. The blue, slick, the pink covered, dangerous is the purple coloring. Do we see any purple? Yes, look at this right down there. So yeah, dangerous. And then impassable, that's one that we're not necessarily seeing, and that's some good news because that means that you should not be on the roadways, definitely, with that.
Right, exactly. Now, dangerous would be enough to keep me off the road.
Exactly.
You see it here where we're getting some of the heaviest snowfall right now. Thunder snow right along that I-72 corridor. So you know it's coming down in buckets there in Illinois. At a pretty intense clip, which means reduced visibility and that snow adding up really quickly. Sometimes when the snowfall rates get up there, it's also hard for the plows to keep the snow from adding up. So we're going to continue to see those travel conditions worsen. Winter weather alerts up from the plains through the Great Lakes. And we also started to see some of those winter weather alerts for portions of the Mid-Atlantic, West Virginia, Maryland getting in on that. So anywhere that you find yourself in one of those winter weather alerts, you need to take it seriously because we're going to continue to see the snow adding up in a big way. Now, snow still to come for places like Iowa, maybe 3 to 5 inches. So we still have a few more inches to add on what we've already seen. But the biggest snowfall totals that are ahead through tonight and early tomorrow will be where you see the purple here, 5 to 8 inches in the light purple. The darker purple, though, that's showing up here across northern Indiana, southern Michigan, 8 to 12 inches possible there, which of course is making travel dangerous. The roads are a mess. We've seen many delays at area airports as well. And for those of us that are just starting to see some of the heaviest snow, that heavy accumulation is now going to begin. You can see our system here on water vapor imagery. We've got the disturbance and we've got abundant moisture for it to work with as well. And that is equating to heavy snow coming down in some places. That's what's being represented here by this huge snowflake on the icon in Chicago. That means it is heavy snow right now being reported in Chicago. Gusty winds as well around the system. More heavy snow in Des Moines that's already had their fair share. And I want to point this out in St. Louis. 34 degrees is the official reading there, and it's reporting rain. But I will tell you, bridges, overpasses just outside of the city as well. Some of those places could still be down around freezing and could still be slick if left untreated. Want to show you this because we were seeing, we can see it right here. Take a look. Watch right here. You see the little lightning strike showing up? We've had some thunder snow. And what that means is that atmosphere is pumping out that snow. If you have enough dynamics and enough lift in the atmosphere to get thunder snow, that means it is spitting snow out there. Along that I-55 corridor, rough go of it right now. Springfield, Illinois in the thick of it, as well as Peoria and Davenport. So it's just a mess. St. Louis, you've got a mix of precipitation types there around St. Louis, where we're seeing that potential for moderate to heavy snowfall, which means snowfall rates up to an inch an hour, which is going to add up really well. That is highlighted here. So Davenport, Peoria, Quincy, right around where we're seeing that thunder snow lift northeastward. Springfield, you're in it as well as Champaign, guys. This is one of those types of of snow areas that if you're out in this, you just can't even make out what's in front of you. We've already seen double digits across portions of Iowa, especially central Iowa. It's adding up for portions of Missouri and Illinois at this point, and this is what it's resulting in. We've got roads that are covered across this region. Everywhere that you see the pink is indicative of a road that is covered. So that means it's going to be slick. It's going to be a rough go. Not to mention, not only are the roads covered, the wind is gusting. The snow is heavy. I mean, gosh, from St. Louis north to Chicago, it is a mess. The winds are cranking as well, so it's going to be blowing that snow around, and that is going to help to reduce visibility as well. Take a look at these winds that we're going to see heading through this afternoon and evening. They just pick up in Des Moines, in Chicago, in Green Bay. Gusts of 25, 30 miles per hour, and that is also eventually going to turn around to more of a northerly wind and usher in even more cold air as we head through Sunday into Monday. And then, of course, Lynette, eventually this all pushes eastward, and we've got some snow for interior portions of the Northeast as well.
Yes, thank you, Felicia.
From Grand Haven, Michigan.
All right, Jordan, thanks for that report. And yeah, we're going to be watching what Bellamy's doing. Winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. Felicia, have you ever had to drive in winter weather?
I actually was on assignment, and I had to drive from Minneapolis on I-94 to St. Cloud. And when I tell you, I have never gripped a steering wheel so tight in my life because, yes, we know how to deal with the snow across this region, but there's only so much you can do, right?
Exactly. So we have to watch that. We're going to continue to watch that snow pile up. Where we had the winter storm warnings, that basically just means that we're seeing more snow coming in.
Exactly. And you can see it here on the map. I mean, we've already had our fair share amount of snow across Iowa, across portions of Missouri, but we're going to add more onto this. All the purple, the light purple, 5 to 8 inches. I call this the medium purple because it's not the dark purple, but the medium purple, 8 to 12. So maybe a foot of snow in some places.
Yes, and of course, if you're a snow lover, you're loving this, but if you have to get out in it, this is where the problem comes.
Exactly, especially if you're traveling. You know, if you could just stay at home and enjoy it and wait it out, it's all fine. But you see that on our thing here, dangerous travel. And, you know, we don't just say that as a hype word. We've already had the reports of it, of accidents, of roads being shut down for portions of time. It's just a mess out there.
Exactly. We don't say this just to say it. We don't want to hear ourselves talk. It's really happening. And what's really happening now is the fact that we're starting to see more of these airport delays coming in.
They're adding up, and we knew that was going to happen. We've already had hundreds of delays and cancellations at Chicago. Now both ORD and Midway are dealing with delays, and in fact, we've got a ground stop at Midway.
Yeah, we do. So again, just you know, people say pack your patients, but I always feel like if you pack your patients, then you don't have them because they're packed. So just have your patients with you.
Keep your patients handy. Yeah, exactly. That's what you're going to need to do. Especially where we've got the heavy snow.
Yes, and also windy conditions. You heard Jordan talk about that as well. The wind's going to continue to pile up here. We see the isobars. Love showing you the isobars. What are those lines of equal pressure? And the closer these white lines are, the windier it is.
Oh, yeah. And what I want to point out to you, too, is where we have the big fat flakes on the icon. Des Moines, again, you guys are in the heavy snow. But I think this is why we're starting to see conditions get worse around Chicago, Lynette. And that's because we've got that big fat flake, which equates to you very, very heavy snow there in Chicago right now.
Yeah, we did have some thunder snow in some spots out there earlier, too.
Yeah, portions of central Illinois getting in on that.
So let's talk about the winter road conditions, the latest now. So we're still covered, and this is going to be our scenario as we go through time. This is not going to get better anytime soon.
Oh, no. I mean, look at pretty much all of Illinois is in the pink from St. Louis up through Chicago, and we're just now seeing some of the heaviest snow building. So it's only going to get worse.
It is, as the snow starts to get worse as we go throughout the day here. And again, when we start to see some of the darker blues here, the teal blue, that's some heavier banding that we're starting to see.
And that means that snow's coming down at a greater clip, and it's reducing your visibility, and the wind is cranking, which means it's blowing the snow as well. All of those things are going to work together to make it so that you can't see in front of you if you're on the roadway.
Exactly, and this will continue to push on off towards the east here. The wind's still going to be lurking even once the system is gone.
Eventually, though, it will fill in eastward and bring more lake effect snow and other snow to the interior Northeast.
Exactly.
I've been looking ahead to the forecast for next week, just kind of seeing what's going to be happening. And let me just tell you, if you think this is cold, well, especially across the northern tier, just wait until next week, late next week specifically. Let's talk about it though. So today we've got 195 million of us with below average temperatures. Tomorrow that number decreases a bit, but the below average temperature levels, so how much below average you are, increases here across central portions of the U.S. We've got temperatures that are more reminiscent of January than late November, early December. Highs today, 30 in Chicago, 39 in St. Louis, Little Rock, 48 for you, but you can see Dallas still making it into the 60s. You'll be nowhere near that tomorrow in Dallas. We're waking up at 10 degrees in Fargo, -2 in Rapid City, 25 in St. Louis, 27 in Chicago. So what that tells me is anything that is falling is sticking around. We're not having some big warm up as we head through the day tomorrow. Tomorrow, high temperatures, not morning low temperatures. A single 8 degrees in Bismarck, Pier at 15, Des Moines 19, and you can see Kansas City, Chicago, all of these places that have been dealing with some of this wintry weather will still have that. The other part of this is the wind chill. So whenever you have a snowpack and you throw in some wind and cold temperatures, it's just going to feel so cold out there. Minneapolis feeling like -1, Marquette feeling like -4. So of course Monday, a lot of us are going back to work. We're going back to school with the kiddos, right? And it is going to be bitter cold. We are going to stay cold throughout the day on Monday as well. Highs in Little Rock only in the mid-30s, and not to mention looking for that potential for the possibility of a little bit of freezing rain there for portions of the South on Monday. Quite an active pattern. We've got the chance for more rain and storms heading through this evening and overnight tonight. And then, of course, the colder air building in that's coming along with this winter system. It's going to be a much colder day tomorrow than it is today there in places like Dallas and Houston. You can see where we have the rain that could be impacting some of your roadway travel, and that risk for stronger storms today for places like Houston and Dallas. College Station included in that as well. We're really going to shift the gear from mostly just rain, light showers really, some moderate rain here or there, to the potential for some stronger storms as we head through the second part of our afternoon and into the evening. Let's time that out for you here on Future Radar. Watch the lines of storms that begin to form there north of Dallas and then between Houston and San Antonio as we head through the evening and the overnight hours. What the Future Radar is picking up on when you're seeing those purples and those reds and kind of those individual cells there just south of that I-10 corridor there between Houston and San Antonio, that's indicative of some potentially stronger storms. Gusty winds, large hail, all of that is in the forecast. Very small tornado risk, but not a zero tornado risk. So have some way to get those alerts that would wake you up if you need to find a safe place tonight when those storms are moving through. This pushes south and east as we head through tomorrow. So Lynette, some of us are going to be dealing with rain for our Sunday that we'll have to plan around.
All right, Felicia, and we need to